So first of all, I'm not that smart really. I'm even not able to make a haircut in time, so I'm just pretty mediocre. I'm just leading in a tiny little field. That's why I'm so thankful that you invite me to be here as well, because I think by teaming up with you, we can really make a difference in some areas in that. First of all, for example, if you want to really increase fuel efficiency in an airplane, the first thing is you need to tell people to empty their digestion system before they enter the plane. It saves 5 tons of kerosene, so yeah, you can really do something. And when you fly to New York, for example, from Brussels to do shopping, and you fly naked, it saves another 2 tons of kerosene. and it's good to look at lighting and stuff like that, and really that's the main reason to come with as well, to listen to you, because of your great work. But if you would make a little legislation, maybe just for emancipation, we talked about women's rights, that women have to wear a tie in winter as well. You feel a little strangled. You can reduce the room temperature to 2 degrees Celsius. That's far more than any light bulb savings. Far more. Just by get a little strangled, you can do more. More is less, whatever. So we can definitely look at things, and I would like to use the opportunity to talk about how we can use 40 years of plain shame for innovation. And that's why this young and hungry university with this great photovoltaic stuff here as well, and semiconductors, is the right place, and I really enjoy to be here. On the other side, we need to honor the pioneers. The person I learned most in my life is Friedhelm Korte, and he just died 14 days ago. And he was really the one who looked at chemistry and engineering in a complete new way. And if you can look him up, you can really learn. On the other side, you always talk about the future generations, but I have to say I'm suffering right now because this is my son, Jonas, and he died 4 weeks ago. And he was a student in Aachen. And he died because of antibiotics resistance, because of using too many antibiotics. He died at an infection after routine surgery. So what about human rights for that? He was 24 years old. Traditionally, we take things, we make things, we put them into landfills, and we think it's environmental protection. But you don't protect, you only destroy a little less. And people say, please protect the environment, reduce your carbon footprint. Please protect the environment, reduce the amount of energy, reduce the amount of waste. But you're not protecting, you're only destroying a little less. It's like the same if you say, hey, please protect your child, beat your child only 5 times instead of 10 times. You're not protecting, you're only destroying less. So people want to reduce their carbon footprint. How funny. So Brussels wants to climate neutral. How sick. You can only be climate neutral when you don't exist. That's the only way. Did you ever see a climate neutral tree? So with all our brain, we want to be more stupid than a tree, and this is the highest goal of the European Union. How funny. We want to be carbon neutral. Did you ever see a carbon neutral tree? Ever? So 600 billion trees left in the Amazon region. 600 billion, with a huge water footprint. Did you ever hear about an overpopulation problem of trees? When you talk about overpopulation, you question the existence of people because you say, hey, it's better you're not here. So when you do so, people become greedy. Because when you question the existence of people, then you might eat my lunch. That's why it better become aggressive. You see this in Israel. When people feel insecure, when they have fear, they become aggressive and greedy. But I have been looking at more than 50 natural tribes over the world. And even the poorest of the poor are always generous and friendly when they feel safe. So the first thing is to celebrate the human footprint, not to talk about, oh shit, overpopulation. Because when you do so, people have more children. Because out of fear, they have more children. When half of the children die before the age of 5, then they have more children. So the first thing is to celebrate the human footprint on this planet, not to minimize it. But sure, there's a lot to do. We have 10 million tons of plastic, 12 million tons of plastic are going into the oceans every year. There are regions in the South Pacific where the plastic concentration is up to 40 times higher than the plankton concentration. The more seals and whales and turtles being killed by plastic than by anything else. We can reduce it for 10%, how nice. And no, it's a design problem. It's the wrong materials. What are the materials of the future? These types of plastics. There are 40 million flip-flops going into the oceans every year. Yeah. If we can reduce it to 38 million, yeah, how nice. We can do so, but it's only less bad and it doesn't help. So we need to reinvent stuff. But the main problem of universities is in Europe we get only paid for problems. So we keep problems alive because as long as there are problems we get funding. Yeah. So every study ends, more research is necessary instead of doing things. Yeah. That's why I do both. I run this institute to show that it works. Yeah. And on the other side, I am teaching because we need the brightest and smartest people. Because we have been growing up by that, by Seveso, Bhopal, Chernobyl. With that, we lost a whole generation of smart scientists. That's why we try to minimize our footprint, because we feel so bad to be here after Seveso, Bhopal, Chernobyl, Basel, etc. Yeah. How could you join a company like BASF or Hoechst when they are polluting the whole River Rhine? Yeah. It's like today, 5 years ago, when you said, oh, my father is a banker. Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah. Today he said, what a pig. Yeah. The same happened with chemistry, with physics, with engineers, and we need the brightest people back. So that's why we try to minimize. Yeah. And then we talk about, oh, greenhouse gases, energy. Yeah. How stupid. Because we don't have an energy problem, we have a carbon mismanagement problem. Carbon is a material, not an energy per se thing. So how can we be so stupid to subsidize the burning of wood when we destroy the whole wood chip industry by doing so? This is called ecologism, like you mentioned it with subsidies. You get subsidies to burn wood, that means to destroy the whole furniture industry, the whole particle board industry, the whole kitchen industry, because it's now far more profitable to burn wood than to do something with wood before. Yeah. You can do the same cascade, it makes 40 times more jobs. Yeah. The saddest thing is the European Union is importing 3 million tons of palm oil from Indonesia. 1 hectare of palm oil plantation has 60 tons of carbon in it. 1 hectare of rainforest has 7,000 tons of carbon in it. That's what I call ecologism. We pretend to do something, but we're only rearranging the deck chairs of the Titanic somehow. Yeah, we keep people busy, like socialism was never social. Now ecologism doesn't really help the ecology, it only keeps us busy. We are growing corn. 20% of the European country now is basically covered with corn. Yeah, how sick and rape. Yeah. When we do so, we lose, believe me, 11 and 30 tons of topsoil per hectare in a year. Yeah. So the biggest part, what you could see in the presentation, that's why it fits so nicely together, is the biggest part of carbon is soil and vegetation, not oil. Yeah. But we are losing topsoil like crazy. We lose 5,000 times more topsoil than we make. Yeah. And we call it, we do renewable energy. We need to grow renewable energy as fast as possible. How stupid. We can do so. Yeah. A baby takes about 6,500 diapers. Yeah. If we analyze the city of Antwerp and we find 20% of the diapers of Antwerp, 20% of the municipal waste of Antwerp are diapers. Yeah. You can reduce it for 10%, sure. That will be compensated in China in a second. Yeah. This mountain is only from a baby for 1 year. Yeah. By the way, there's a lot of future in it because the adult diapers in Antwerp, like we talked about demographics, are already bigger volume than the baby diapers. Yeah. So we are all in the pre-diaper phase somehow. Yeah. So we can do so, and that's why we feel so bad. Yeah. We said, our aim is zero emission. Yeah. We look at a little baby and tell, our aim is zero emission. Yeah. How sick. Yeah. Toyota, okay, they do something, they have a lot of technical problems. If you don't exist, you can have zero emission. Yeah. It's the only thing. Okay, is it really what you want to say? Even if you would shoot yourself right now, you would have emission. So it's an aim you cannot achieve anyways. And here you can see how sick people talk about energy efficiency. Yeah, how funny. Look, this tree, zero emission. This tree makes oxygen. That's an emission, isn't it? Oxygen. Yeah. This tree is cleaning the air. Yeah. This tree is making soil. This tree is a habitat for 200 other species. This tree is cleaning water. Compared to our architecture, it's this great presentation. I really admire that you're here. Can you imagine how primitive is our house? We are sealing our houses to save energy. I analyze the air quality in a building and I find that the indoor air quality of a building is about 3 to 8 times worse than outside urban air in Rotterdam. Yeah. Nope, you can seal the building. If you make the wrong things perfect, they're just perfectly wrong. Yeah. So that's what we do. Yeah. Okay, the highest what the European Union is promoting now is passive houses. Okay, if you have some sadomaso needs, a passive house might be great for you, but is it really what you want? Why don't we make buildings like trees, cities like forests? Yeah? That would change completely things. This tree is not efficient at all, but this is where we are. Yeah? All these consulting people are promoting efficiency, yeah? How to get more out of the same resource. When I was a child, a cow was producing 5,000 liters milk, yeah, a year, and I thought, this is a lot. Today it's 13,000. Do you want to squeeze a little more out of this poor animal? 50 little more? Efficiency? Yeah. How sick? Yeah. That's why we're here. Yeah. The greenest house is the one that never gets built. Yeah. How nice. Yeah. So we can do this guilt management, sure, but does it make sense? We can do math that minimizes our indoor air pollution. Look, asthma is by far the most relevant children's disease in Belgium. Yeah. 2/3 of the houses have massive mold problems because people seal the houses and they don't get the moisture out of. Mold makes asthma schimmel. Yeah. We can do so, but so what? Yeah. Then we go back and say, oh yes, look, I'm a chemist first and chemical engineer, so I'm processing stuff, I put it in glass boxes because if I don't define what I have, I don't know where to go. Yeah. If I only optimize what I see, I make the wrong things perfect. That's why we look at all these peaks are chemicals which are off-gassing. They're much lower than from children's toys. By the way, the European Union now has been banning 64 chemicals in children's toys instead of 39. How nice. I find in children's toys more than 600. Just in Mattel toys, 600. Barbie, Fisher-Price, yeah, the stuff, yeah, more than 600 dangerous and problematic chemicals. Yeah. But we are banning now 64. Yeah. So then we say, okay, carpets are off-gassing. Yeah, sure, it's a synthetic one. We need to go back to Mother Earth. Yeah? And then people roll their eyes, even His Majesty. What did we do to Mother Earth? Yeah? There's no Mother Earth. The strongest carcinogens are natural chemicals. The most toxic ones are natural ones. But nature is not stupid. I'm analyzing now for 26 years breast milk. There's not one sample which could be sold as drinking milk. Yeah, not one. And these are all synthetic chemicals, so we can learn from nature. Nature is our teacher, yeah, or partner, but not our mother. No, Mother Earth. Yeah, yeah, nothing like that. Yeah, which mother would give cancer to a child on purpose? Nature needs cancer to adjust a gene pool. For the individual, it's a disaster. Yeah, but for the overall, it's necessary. For the collective, because we talk about collective nature rights. So we go back and say, oh yes, natural chemicals. Look. Yeah, we need natural fibers. Yeah. We have far bigger peaks and much higher peaks because God didn't design the sheep for the carpet. Yeah. So when you try to make a sheep into a carpet, you need a lot of chemicals, and it's all Teflon stuff. So you're never in touch with the wool because it's a Teflon coated wool. So it's wool, but it's no wool actually. You never get in touch with the wool. We find a lot of these types of things. We analyze what we find in coke. We find up to 80 times more antimony that's legal drinking water. But because the catalyst which we developed with Akzo Nobel originally will never reach the market because the existing one has FDA approval. And sure, Coca-Cola is not drinking water, so it's legal to have 80 times more antimony in Coke because it's Coke, it's not drinking water. Yeah. Yeah. So the key question is, are we too many? We can do something. Yeah. The real question behind it, we can do something to minimize our carbon footprint. I can show you, we analyzed a 40-year-old vegetarian, yeah, a lady climbing the stairs in a building, yeah, and we find if she climbs the stairs, she takes 5 times more energy than if she takes the elevator. Because to make a human calorie is so much more energy intensive than lifting the person by the elevator. So if you want to protect the environment, always take the elevator. And by the way, when you die a little earlier, you can minimize your carbon footprint even more. Yeah? So there are a lot of opportunities to do so. So whoever wants to save energy takes the elevator. But, so the key question, do you want to look at these babies and it's better you're not here? Yeah. Okay, maybe in Africa they have the wrong skin color. Because otherwise we would do something. Yeah, we let them die on purpose, there's no doubt. Yeah. Because we think it's better against overpopulation somehow. Yeah. But are we really too many? If you look at the biomass of ants is so much higher than of humans. And because they never take elevators, they always take the stairs, and they only live 3 to 6 months, they're equal in their calorie consumption about 30 billion people. So we are not too many, we are just too stupid. We are not good enough. Our engineers are not good enough, our scientists are too stupid. Because the difference between them and us is we are making waste. And then we are too many. Yeah. And that's why we need to, but this is a traditional thing. We say, oh, we are 100% evil, 80% evil, and our goal is 0, traditional eco-efficiency. But nature is not efficient, nature is effective. We can say, hey, we are here, and this is where we want to be. The more you buy it, the quicker we are. Traditional sustainability is spooking the customer. It says, if you don't buy it, it's even better. If you don't build my house, it's even better. Yeah. You really need a new house. Yeah. So, no, we say it's the opposite. Yeah. Look, it makes sense to reduce impact, but why is it always defined negative impact from humans when it comes to environment? All the other species are beneficial. Yeah. So it's necessary to look at a positive footprint. Sure, when you're in Sweden, your footprint is destroying the soil. That's why people try to minimize their footprint. Yeah. But when you're in Italy, or when you walk along the river here, yeah, the footprint means the water stays long in the meadow. Why don't you have a big footprint, but make it a wetland instead of minimizing impact? Because for less bad, we have far too many people. That's true. But for good, it's different. Look, isn't it amazing? We want to be good for economy, we want to be good for society, but when it comes to environment, the highest is carbon neutral. How sick. Why don't we want to be good instead of less bad? Yeah. So we talk about sustainability. So how is your relationship with your boyfriend? What do you say? Sustainable. Yeah. Or in Flemish, duursam. Yeah. It lasts forever. It's expensive. Yeah. At the same time. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. So that's why it's about effectiveness, not about efficiency. In the Netherlands, people understand it easily because, look, when your girlfriend is really angry about you, 50 roses, completely inefficient, yeah, but very effective. Yeah. And the country is built on flowers. Yeah. Think about Van Gogh, completely inefficient, the first .com, yeah, but very effective. Yeah. Think about a lipstick, just yeah, you have that here. A woman eats about 6.3 kilograms of lipstick during her lifetime, completely inefficient, but very effective. Yeah. So you look at the tree in spring, no reduction, no avoidance, no minimization, no low carbon, how sick. Yeah. Using current solar income, celebrating diversity. We distinguish between two different cycles. The stuff which gets consumed, like food, like detergents, needs to go in a biological cycle. Brake pads, shoe soles. Yeah. Now, Volkswagen, you can read brake pad free of asbestos. The replacement is antimony sulfate, which is a much stronger carcinogen than asbestos before. Don't make it things free of. Yeah. I invite you for dinner, it's free of chicken, that doesn't really help you. So we can look at this. We make the first paper in human history. Yeah, you can see it, I have samples with me, which you actually can compost. When you take a normal newspaper, the ash, when you burn it, is so toxic that it cannot go into your compost. Yeah? Because it's never intended for that. So we do the first printing which allows to go into biological systems. We do this for a lot of things. EcoWare in Belgium as well. All the detergents are designed for the biosphere because they get consumed for to so. Technical nutrition. We are no longer selling chairs, we are selling the use of chairs, like you showed it with your photovoltaic stuff. Yeah, as a service. You can disassemble this chair in 32 seconds. It's the world's best-selling chair. Yeah, now assembly is so much easier. The chemistry we can use. By the way, this is the first a vacuum cleaner designed for indoor use. This is only a control peak. You see, much lower, the same scale. The peaks are so much lower because we can design it positively for indoor use. Yeah. The first TV is designed for indoor use as well. By the way, we did this in Brugge, and then Philips decided to close down the TV production. So that's a real urgency because we lose the capacity and the intelligence to do things in that. Yeah. But you see, it gets fashionable in industry. You see it here. It's about even the chemical industry. It's the most important chemical magazine celebrating human footprint, not minimizing footprint. Yeah. We make carpets which are cleaning the air. It's a Belgian-Dutch company as well, not me stinking less. Yeah? When your boyfriend is stinking less, it doesn't really help you so much as well. Yeah? So it's cleaning air. When your boyfriend is cleaning up the kitchen, that helps. Yeah? So that's why it's about being good, not less bad. It's a positive agenda. Now the more you buy, the quicker we are. That's why I have a chair at the business school to show it works for business. Yeah? That's why the Dutch government gave me this chair. And it shows this is the most profitable carpet making in the world. We started in 2008 because the more you buy, the quicker you are. Because traditional sustainability people tell you, oh, if you don't buy it, carbon it's even better. Couldn't you say less is less somehow, or less is more, or whatever? Yeah, no, you say the more you buy, the quicker you are. Yeah. You can make buildings like trees, cities like forests. Oh, by the way, when you wear a bow tie, it's even better, yeah, because you can minimize. This is my best friend, Bill McDonough, yeah, an architect, and we do buildings like trees, buildings which clean air, buildings which become habitat for other species. This is a building which is now under construction in Barcelona. It will release endangered butterflies in Barcelona. Yeah, so we do positive things with that. I can give you a lot of these examples. We can make stuff where we raise the fluoride, we get more net agricultural space because we can use the valves in China in a big scale. It's high tech, it comes from Europe. Yeah. And we can do beautiful stuff. Here is Schüco's, Europe's largest maker of windows. We are no longer selling these windows, we are selling the use of the window. So you can, 25 years of looking through insurance and insulation, that makes that the company turns into raw material bank. Shiprock, yeah, materials with gypsum which we can recover to get it back, yeah, in Antwerp, by the way, yeah. Mosa in Maastricht, yeah. Services, you're no longer selling these products, it's cradle to cradle. Target, you're using Belgium to think, and isn't nice, yeah. We are able, the most critical thing where you see the urgency of the whole thing is phosphorus. Yeah. Yeah, talk about energy, so what? Yeah. But phosphorus is far more critical. Because every day we need to release 2 grams in the environment and you need to take up 2 grams of phosphorus. We are dependent on 2 countries which control more than 65% of the world's resources. There's far more radioactivity being put in the environment by phosphate fertilizer than used in all nuclear power plants, far more. Just Europe dumped on its agricultural and 60,000 tons of uranium in the last 20 years. Yeah. Because we're contaminating everything, because of the contamination of the fertilizer. And it gets worse and worse every day. If you don't give phosphate back into biological cycles, we are too many. And if you don't, yeah, but because even the most organic fundamentalists people think it's only organic when we are not a part of it. There's not one label which allows organic phosphorus to bring back into agriculture. It's only organic without us. It will be changed in the Netherlands, isn't it great? And it's about individuals, about doing things. The Belgian presidency, by the way, it was Joke Schauffele, yeah, put cradle to cradle on the agenda at the presidency. And that's nice because there's now 100 million euros in cradle to cradle. Yeah. And sometimes it's more noodle to noodle or noodle to noodle. That doesn't matter because when people change so fast, we have a quality problem with that. It's okay. We see this in buildings, so that's why there's a lot of opportunities here. We see cradle to cradle islands around the North Sea, including Taiwan now. There's cradle to cradle biz. It's a new book coming up. It's the first book which you can burn safely. Yeah. It's good for neo-Nazis, for example. So, because all the chemicals are designed for that, because normally these poor neo-Nazis poison themselves when they burn books. Yeah. So it's a community building. Yeah. It's a community building. It's quality. Take the diapers here. Yeah. We talk about the future of materials. Yeah. If you change the superabsorbers from polyacrylates, yeah, into using superabsorbers which can go in biological systems, yeah, based on viscose, for example, from AkzoNobel. Yeah. If you change the plastic into DSM plastics, for example, yeah, and we change the glues from Eastman, then we can grow with one baby, when we collect the diapers, yeah, make a little powder out of it, yeah, sterilize it. We can grow with one baby in Israel or Tunisia, yeah, at least 150 trees. So this baby can be carbon positive from the beginning. So why do we want to be carbon neutral? We can be positive from the beginning. Yeah. That's about innovation, it's about quality. And we show in business cases, and you can put your cases into that, yeah, at Erasmus University, that we need the young and hungry and talented scientists of Hasselt to join. Thank you very much.